Welcome back guys, hope you are all doing great. In this video we are going to discuss about how to create this nice vertical carousel by using Main.js. In a few lines of code we can create this nice vertical carousel and you can use it in your timeline or in a comment section for your website. So without wasting your time, let's get started how to create this vertical carousel. Okay guys, I already created the folder structure which is necessary for this project, so like CSS and JavaScript, and I have that profile image and then background image. You can use your own custom image. Okay, so let's get started. Create the basic HTML structure and name the title as vertical carousel, and let's link our own CSS file /css styles.css, and we need to include the jQuery and we need to include the Main.js. So you can copy this link from the description box. I already given it in the description box. You can copy it from that description box and copy it and paste it in your project. So now we need to create the body structure. Actually, if you check that, if you have a look at in that project, like we having the background image and we having that slider. So first we need to create the slider wrap. So slider wrap division, then we need to create a division for your image. So for that is going to be, you can say that's an image card. Okay, so later we can add that image inside that division. Now inside this we are going to have add the slider, so dot slider, and we are going to have the ID for this division, that is going to be card underscore slider. Okay, so now we created the division with the class slider and with an ID card underscore slider. Then we need to create the slider item, so you can say this is the slider item, ends. Okay, so now we need to create the class division with the class slider item dot slider underscore item. Inside this it's going to have two division. One is for your image and another one is for your content. If you have a look at here, you can see we have this image and we have this content. So dot card underscore image and dot car underscore content. Inside this we need to load the image, so image dot slash image woman.jpg, and content you can add card h4 and name the class as card underscore title, and you can have some of your title here, and this is going to be card description, and here I'm just using lorem ipsum, so you can use your let me reduce few content because we don't need this much. Oops. Okay, format the document. Yeah, now it's much better. I can see everything in a single page. Okay, so let me paste it few more times. Okay, this is better. After this, what we need to do is later we can copy and replace this. So now we just load this in our live server. Good. So far our content and image, everything is loaded perfectly. So now let's write the CSS for this. Okay, so first of all, as usual, for every single element inside here we just need to add margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing, it's going to be border box. So now this will reduce all the unwanted margin spaces, and you can see our content is starting exactly from the top left corner. Then we need to write the styles for your body tag, because we need to fix the width and height for the body tag. So body tag should take the 100% screen size, whatever it is, and it should take the 100% viewport. Okay, so because in some mobile phones or some devices, you can see that at the bottom they have some options, so we need to take only the viewport, not the 100% screen size. Otherwise it will, like, we need to you or to say, like, otherwise the height at the bottom, you can't see the full content of your website. So always take the, for the height, viewport points. Then for background, what we are going to do is, I'm going to use this chat, what is that, color, gradient color pad. Gradient color pad, you can see where it is. Here it is, grad pad. So you can navigate to this link which I given in this description box. You can, by click that link, you can open this gradient color pad. If you go to the gradient gallery, you can see they have lots of gradient color, and you can choose the color which is suitable for you. And I'll choose this one. I'll click here and I copy this, and we can use it for our project. Background, save it. Now let's see how it looks. Yeah, now our background is changed. After this, I don't want any overflow in my websites in both x-axis and y-axis, so overflow hidden. And all of my content should be looks in a single row, so display flex. Then vertically they should be in the center position, so now they are in the center. Okay, so then let's, because here inside this content we having two divisions. So we have one image card and we have slider wrap. So slider wrap need to take 60% and image card should take 40% of the screen width. So copy the slide wrap, dot slide wrap, we'll make it as in that flex. We are asking to take 0.6, that means 60%. Okay, now it's taking the 60%, and we need to give the same thing for your image, but this image card is going to take flex 0.4, that means 40%. Okay, now this 40% for your image and this 60% is for your carousel. Okay, so and sorry, then margin top, from the margin top this should become around 10%. Now it's exactly in the center position. After this we need to write the styles for your slider. Copy the slider, so slider wrap, dot slider. So slider, it should be position relative, and you can say from the margin left of your slider wrapper it should come around 50 pixels, because it's very close to the margin. So let's move 50 pixels. Okay, because we should not use this margin left for this entire slide wrap, because it will move our image container also. Okay, so either if you're using here you can use padding left, if you're using here you can use margin left. Okay, so then we need to write the styles for your slider item. So dot slider dot slider item. Okay, so we need to fix the width for your slider item, because it's taking, if you currently it's taking too much of space. So first width, it's going to take 350 pixels. Okay, That's good. Now it's taking 350 pixels. Then we need to add some padding effects. Padding 20 pixels in the top, 0 pixels in the right, 25 pixels in the bottom, and 30 pixels. Okay, that's better. After this, border radius. Oh, border radius we can give 10 pixels. Currently you can't see anything unless if you add some background color. Background I'm going to use white color. Now you can see we have that background color. It's too small. It's because of this, so let's make it 530 pixel or 540. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, then what we need to do is we just need to make it display flex. Now that will bring everything in a single row, our image and our content, everything. After this, what we need to do is, so makes justify the content. It should start from exactly where the flex is starting. Okay, now our content is inside the box. Later we'll fix this image. After this, we need to make this position absolute. Okay, then opacity, currently we keep it as 1 because 100 percentage. Later I'll make it 0 percentage. We need, because we will adjust this opacity in our JavaScript. Okay, so currently it will be, let it be 1. Later we'll change it, and z index it's going to be 0. After this, we need to add some box shadow. For this box shadow, 0, 4 pixel, 9 pixel, hash f1 f1 f4. Now we're having that shadow effect. 15 pixels, it's too dark. 12 pixels. Okay, after this, from the left 0, top 0. It should be the top left. Okay, that's good. Then after this, what we need to do is, now we need to write the styles for your image because that's too big. So copy this. After here, dot slider item dot card image. Card image, you can say maximum width for this, it should take only 60 pixels. The same way maximum height, it should take only 60 pixels. So display, it's going to be flex, and justify content center and align item center, because image should be exactly in the center position. After this, we need to make the border radius 50 percentage. So currently we are not writing the styles for image, we are writing the styles for your image container. Later we'll bring that image inside that container. And box shadow, we can say 0 pixels, 4 pixels, 12 pixels, and by using RGBA 241, 241, 241, 0.72. Then background color hash triple F. Okay, so now if you hide this image, you can see that here we having that image container. Okay, so now what we need to do is copy this and write these styles for your image, which is inside that image container. Let's fix the width as 53 pixels, height 53 pixels, object fit cover. Over here you can see that we're having that image. If you make overflow hidden over here, or if you add this border radius over here, it will gives you the that circle shape for your image. Okay, then what we need to do is now we need to write the styles for your content, this particular content. Now our image is perfectly placed. Now we need to write the styles for your content. Copy this and paste it over here, then go and copy your card content, paste it over there. So for this it should take the 100% width. Okay, and then from the margin left of your image container it should take 26 pixels or 24 pixels. What's happening? Nothing is happening. Something is missing up. Oh, my bad. Not card image. Yeah, now it's working perfectly. Because what mistake I made, because I used this card image, this division is not inside the card image, because card image and card content are both inside the slider content. So previously I used the card image class, that's why. Now it's working perfectly. Margin left 26 pixels. It's okay, because if you think it's too much of space, then you can reduce it or you can increase the image height a little bit, but I'm okay with this. After that, maximum width it can take 375 pixels only. It should not go beyond that. Font family, you can say open sans serif. That's good. If I don't give which is better? Okay, this is much better than that. After this, what we need to do is we need to write the styles for your card title, that is the h2 tag which is inside your card content. Color, it's going to be hash 4A4545. okay, this is better. After this, font size is going to be 16 pixels. Perfect. After that, we need to reduce the or we can have some letter space between the title. So font weight 400 pixels. Good. And you can say that line height it's 24 pixels. Perfect. Then margin 0, because we already added the line height, so that will adjust the space between it, so we don't need to worry about that. After this, we need to write the styles for your card description. Copy it and paste it over there. Color of the card description, it's going to be hash 696D74. Then yeah, this is how it looks. Then what we need to do is, then font size, let's take as 15 pixels, that's good. And font weight as 300, that's better. And letter spacing as normal. After that, line height, for this also it's going to use 24 pixels as the line height. So now this is to okay, so margin Margin from the top we need 10 pixels. Apart from that, all the corners it should be 0. Max width, okay, this is better. After that, now we need to add one more layer which is inside your card. We need to give the city name. So after this paragraph, I'm adding card city. So currently I'm giving Doha, Qatar, dot card, copy this, paste it before. Okay, font size, it's going to be 11 pixels. Okay, it's there, it's showing. After this, what we need to do, we need to bring up the some margin space before that. So I'll give the exact margin space what I given over there. Now it's having some margin space. After this, font size 12 pixels, font weight 500, text transform uppercase, and color, let's make it as 696D74, like this. Okay, now we bring up our image in the right side. So dot image card img, it should use the 80% of the width, and object fit, it should be cover or contain. We need to see the complete image, right? So contain. Let's bring up the image inside here in the image tag. So image dot slash image cartoon dot png, that brings our image over here. And let's make this and see, it's having too much of space over there, so we don't need this anymore. Okay, so this makes sense. This is good. Let's have a overlook. We created everything perfectly or not. So slider item, card image, everything is good. And then yep, card image, images, card content, everything is good. Card content, yeah. Now we need to, what we need to do is, we just need to copy this slider item few more times. So from here to here, copy it, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for this kind of vertical carousel, you should have minimum 5 different slider item, then only it will works good. Otherwise it will not work, because we are going to write the script like that only. Okay, so make sure that you have minimum 4, minimum at 4, maximum no problem, but it should have minimum 4. Okay, so because of the position absolute, nothing is working, nothing, you can see anything, you can see only 1 because everything is behind it. So don't worry about it, we will fix it in the main.js. Okay, so first what we need to do is, we need to bring up all the cards. So create a variable called cards equals, we need to select the cards. Okay, so dollar, first for selecting I'm using this card slider, hash card slider, and inside the card slider we are going to select the slider item. By using jQuery, we are selecting all the slider item into that, and we are converting it to one array, to array. Okay, now if I print that console.log cards, let's see what's happening. Nothing is printed. Why? It's because our main.js is not linked with our HTML. So link our script file over here, otherwise it will not work. Main.js. Now if I check, we have 5 different slider items inside there. Okay, that means our script, everything is working fine, jQuery is working fine. After this, what we are going to do is, so let me delete this. So here I'm going to create a function to perform that animation. Okay, so I'm creating start anim as a function. We are not yet created, and I'm passing that list of cards we have. That means the list of array we have, array elements. I'm passing it inside to this start anim function, which we not yet created because we are going to create it now. So create a function and copy this function name and paste it. This function is taking an array as a parameter. This is not a keyword, it's a parameter name. This card will be assigned to this variable. Later we can use it inside here. So first, as I said, we need minimum 4 for this vertical carousel. So I'm checking the condition if array dot length. Okay, if array length, if array dot length is greater than or equals to 4. Okay, so let's print console.log. Okay, else console.log not okay. Let's see what we got. Yes, we got the statement. Okay, because we have 5 card elements. That means this if condition and this function, everything is working good. So inside this if condition, so first here what we are going to use is, we are going to use the twin max property, and we are going to state the animation from and to. So before that, what I'm going to do is, and for slider item, by default I make the opacity as 1. I'm making it 0 now, so I can't see nothing over here, because I'm going to write a script over here to bring that opacity back. So use twin max. This twin max class is coming from your twin max JS. Okay, so twin max. So this twin max, it's having a function called from to. Okay, from to. Inside this, what we are going to use is, we are going to take the first element. That means in the array we have the first index is the first card. We are taking that, and we are giving the the percentage level, opacity level. Then we are giving the x-axis. X-axis, we are not going to move it, and in y-axis we are not going to move it. And the opacity, it's going to be 0.75. Okay, this is from this state, it's going to move x, it's not going to move anywhere, and y, it's going to move top minus 120. That means from the bottom it's going to move up 120 pixels height, and then at that time the opacity level is going to be 0, and the z index I capital, z index it's going to be 0, and delay effect it's going to be 0.03. Okay, and then we need to add some ease animation. That ease animation it's going to be cubic dot ease in out. Okay, so this is from and this is to, because we are using from to function. We need to give the from state, from which state to which state. Okay, so here if you see here, see, you can see that our first card is moving perfectly. Okay, so our first card it's working so far so good. So next what we need to do is we need to do the same thing for your second card. So second card, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. Okay, copy this, and I'm going to paste it. Instead of giving 0, we need to pass the second element of your array, and we are going to use the same timing. And instead of this time the second element going to use 79 pixels, because starting stage, what we need to do is, for instance, so you can see here this is our first box and this is our second box, and my third box should be over here. So these two have a lower opacity and this one will have higher opacity. So then I'll move it from here, and this will go up and this will comes up, this will again join back. So this is what going to happen currently now. Okay, so 79, and initially the Y position for this it's going to be 125 pixels, and the opacity it's not going to be 0.75, it's going to be 1, and this is going to be the top of all the layers, z index 1. After this what we need to do, two stage it's going to be 0, and because it's need to back to normal, so y 0, opacity 0.75, and z index it's going to be 0 only. Then 0 0 z index 0. After this we need to have box shadow, because these things are JavaScript object, make sure you're using the S as a capital. Okay, then what we need to give is we just need to give -5 pixels, 8 pixels, 8 pixels, 0 RGBA 82, 89, 129, 0.05. After this, then ease in, cubic ease in, ease out. Save the changes. Let's see how it's coming. See, now you can see that how it's working. Our first card is moving out, second card is coming up like that perfectly. Okay, so so far it's working good. Next what we need to do is I'm going to copy the same animation and I'm going to paste it one more time. This time we are going to give the second element, but instead of from we are going to use the to function. Okay, to stage we are going to use the third element now. Sorry, because array starts from 0th index, so third element is the second index, then 0.5, and this time what we are going to use is we're not going to use all this, delete it, and I'm going to use base 0 class base 0 colon array. It's going to take the array of an object, so x is equal 0 and y equals y colon 250. Okay, after that, comma x colon 65 comma y colon 200. Okay, after this, comma x colon 79 comma y colon 125. Then after this box, after this array, okay, what we need to do is we need to supply the box shadow colon, we need to give the exact box shadow what we given over here. Okay, so this is the points we supplied for our second array element inside our, that means the third card which is inside that array. After this, you need to give z index, it's going to be 1 only. Then opacity, it's 1. Then ease, it's going to be same cubic dot ease in out. So if you check here, see here what's happening, the third one, it's just moving, it looks like it's moving up and up like that, but it's not moving, it's just because of this position points, it's adjusting the position points for 3 different times. This is what happening currently right now. After this, what we need to do is we just need to adjust one more thing, because we need to bring up one more layer over here. If we done that, then we are finished. So now what we need to do, we need to copy this thing again, okay, so I think this is not needed. Yeah, so what I deleted is I deleted this excess array because we already given it over here, so I'm just deleting it, we don't need that. Then I'll copy this one more time and I paste it again. So this time also we are not going to use to, we are going to use from to object, and here I'm going to use fourth element inside the array, and this time I'm not going to use this base here, I'm just going to use the normal object as x colon y colon 400 and opacity level 0. Then z index 1, delete this, something is messing up, what is missing? Okay, so let me copy it from here and paste it and change this element to 3 and x, it's going to, because once you deleted something, unfortunately it's too hard to follow that comma and all those things, so better use the proper function which we already used. Okay, I tried to override this one, so that's why I messed up somewhere. 0 and z index, it's 1, After this comma, again create one more instance and comma over here. So here now x point, now it's going to be 0, and y point is going to be 250, and opacity it's going to be 0.75. Then z index it's going to be 0, and ease colon cubic dot ease in out. Save the changes, and we already did this. We don't need this because we already given it over here. Let's check it's working good. Okay, so we have this layer and we have this layer and we have one. So our first layer is there, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, and fifth one is there. If you see here, it looks like it's moving up like this. Okay, then else, in else statement, what we are going to do is, I'm just going to copy it. We don't need this. Okay, so if this cart slider it's less than 4 elements, if it is having less than 4 elements, I'm going to append it like, I'm going to append a paragraph tag inside it that sorry carousel should contain more cards, more than 3 card items. Okay, so if you have less than thing, it will append this message over there. Okay, so now what we need to do is, it's not working. You can see that whenever we are refreshing, it's doing some changes, but it's not working. We need to make it animate automatically. So what we need to do is, once this one is done, once the first one is done, on complete, there is an object called on complete in TwinMax. Once that is done on complete, we need to call a function called sort array. We need to pass that array here. Currently nothing will happen because it's throwing an error, that is there is no sort array function inside your program because we don't have exactly. We need to create it. Right after here, function sort array, and that's going to take array as a parameter, and we open it. Okay, first of all we need to clear all the timeout. Okay, clear all the timeout, and we are supplying the delay because delay we don't have so far. We need to create the delay object by ourselves, variable delay, and we are setting the timeout. Okay, so we are going to take the delay timing from here, and we are going to supply it to clear that timeout. Okay, whatever the timeout we set over there, it will takes that timeout and it will clear the timeout. Then this is going to use the function. Okay, inside this, okay, inside this set timeout function, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift the top element. That means remove the top element, and we are going to push it at the last element. That means like here, this is your array currently, this is your array, like this a stack. What we are going to do is we are just going to remove the top element, and we are going to store it in a temporary variable, and we are going to push it to the bottom of all the layer like that. it will keep on work. Okay, like remove it, store it, and push it last. Second, they say do the same thing. Do the remove it, store it here, and push it like this. It will works in a rotatory motion, so it will keep on do the same thing. So variable first item is equals array dot shift. We have a function called shift. So if you search for this function, about this function in internet, shift in JavaScript, you can see here it's an inbuilt array method that removes the first element from an array and returns the removed element. That means it removes only the 0th index of your array element. Okay, so we remove that first element and we are having it in the first item. Then what we need to do, we need to push it to the last. So array dot push. So push function by default itself, it will append the data at the end of your array index. So we are going to push that first item again in. Then we are returning this function because we need to make it as a loop, right? So we are going to call that method again. Oh, not this one, array. And we are setting the timeout as 3 seconds. If you check it out over here, now it's working perfectly because every 3 seconds, it's just for 0.3 seconds, it's just removing that first element and it's pushing back. So keep on, it's removing and pushing back, removing and pushing back. This is what happening currently right now. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this video. If you love this video, leave a comment, and if you have any doubts, just leave a comment. I'll help you over there, and I'll see you in the next video.